Hi, Robyn Papworth from Play, Move, Improve. So today I'm going to give you 4 little tips on how to improve core strength. I'm going to tailor it to improving it in the classroom, but these strategies can also be done at home. So to give you a bit of a backstory about Hugh, Hugh was born with global developmental delay. He was late to crawl, late to walk, late to sit, all those developmental milestones, but we worked really hard on his core strength. His core strength was really a challenge for him all the way through. So he was quite a floppy baby. So I want to run you through some simple tips as they get to preschool age. If you'd like infant or baby strategies, then feel free to message me, and I'm sure if there's enough interest, I can pop a video up for our little ones as well. When it comes to core strength, what core strength basically means is the strength of the tummy, the lower back, the bottom, and the hips, and how all those muscles work together to keep the body upright against gravity. Gravity is pushing all of us down. That's why we slouch. That's why we sit into the back of our chair. And our core muscles are what keeps us upright and gives us that good posture. Now, what we look at in children is children who, like Hugh, are struggling with core strength, is they'll lean on their legs, or they'll lean on their friend next to them, or they'll slouch in their chair. So we want to develop that core strength as early on as we can. So the strategies that I'm going to give you, the 4 strategies, I'm going to start with number 1. So number 1 is trying to encourage as much standing play as we can. They can't slouch or can't lay on the floor if they're standing. So I always look at what children love, and I put that activity that they love onto the table deliberately before they come into class. For Hugh, it was jigsaw puzzles, any sort of mind strategy games. He loved them. So I would always have them at home on a table. You can either have it on a small kids table and they kneel at it. So they kneel in sort of what I call a high kneeling position. I can show you a photo if you need. But at an adult's table, I put it on an adult's table, but I move away the chairs. So in a classroom, classrooms look beautiful when there's chairs in the classroom, but when we have a chair in the classroom, children like Hugh will slouch in that chair. Or if we sit at the table, they'll lean forward on the table instead of using their core muscles. So try and get rid of any chairs, if you can, from the table that you're encouraging the child to stand at. And the more they can stand at an activity, the more they're going to use their core muscles instead of slouching. So favorite activity at the table at the start of the day when they have lots of energy, and then we want to progress them to their more core strength in the climbing frames and crawling as we go. Number 2 is we want to encourage more tummy time. So tummy time we think is just for infants and babies, but it's not. Tummy time is for all of us. So if you can, get yourself laying on your tummy as well. Nice tummy time is great for our neck strength, core strength, shoulder stabilization, all those important gross motor skills. So again, favorite activity on the ground in tummy time position, or a large book. Tummy time all the way around in a circle, everyone in tummy time facing in to read the book. Whatever way you have in the space that you have. I know sometimes space is limited for all the children to be in tummy time. So even if you select a small group and target those children with poor core strength to spend at least 2 minutes of tummy time per day. 2 minutes doesn't sound like much, but 2 minutes is better than none. So the more we can get the children in a tummy time position, whether that be reading a book, singing a song, playing peekaboo, under a teddy, any of those activities that we can to get them on their tummy, not side lying. Side lying isn't always great. That's what Hugh loves. He loves to lay on his side. That's not encouraging core strength. Tummy time will encourage core strength. So tabletop activities, tummy time. My 3rd one is standing painting. Now, standing painting can either be with paint. You can paint with slime, you can paint with mud. Why we want to have children painting standing up is when they're putting mud or slime or paint on a fence or on an easel, they're developing core strength, and they're also using a skill called shoulder stabilization. That's going to help with their overall posture. So easels with perspex are great. You can rub slime and mud and paint on there. If you have a child like Hugh, where Hugh would avoid that sensory play as much as possible, then what we might even do is you can set up some tunnels out of plumbing pipes or out of toilet roll holders. And I used to just encourage Hugh to sprinkle sand through the pipes, through the tunnels, or you can encourage him to put pom-poms through the tunnels. And again, it's standing up nice and tall, reaching above our head, and getting that really beautiful posture working. Number 4 is my favorite, and it's playing under tables. So we always think that we just have to have activities on top of the tables, but there's a play space that you won't even realize yet underneath the table. So what I love to do under the table is children can't sit in W sitting position, or they can't slouch when they're under the table. Usually under the table, they'll be in tummy time position, or they'll be encouraging that core strength by laying. Even if they're laying on their side, it's still better than them sitting in W sitting position. So under the table, I decorate under the table with stickers underneath the table, or create a play space, an ocean play space, or a dinosaur world underneath the table. And we're encouraging children to crawl under the table, because when we crawl, we're using our core strength. Crawling is fantastic for developing core strength. And most importantly, under the table, they can't sit up. So they can't sit in W sitting position because most of them are too tall, and they have to lay down. And when we lay down without using cushions or pillows, we're using our core strength. So the 4 tips we have are, firstly, tabletop activities without chairs, tummy time, painting or using tunnels up above our head, and playing underneath the table. So thank you for your engagement with my post yesterday. If you have any other developmental questions, feel free to ask, and I'm sure there'll be someone else that is thinking the same question. No question is a silly question. So take care, and I'll be in touch soon. Bye.